Okay, so Microsoft's AI strategy is obviously one of the most watched plays on Wall Street. But in this explainer, we're going to look past all the hype around the latest models. We're going to focus on the real investment thesis here. How Microsoft is building this deep, defensible AI moat that, well, competitors might find it's just impossible to cross.
And it all starts with this core vision. You have to understand, Microsoft isn't just selling another tool. They're pitching a whole new operating model for business itself. They call it the frontier firm. This is the big story, the grand narrative that frames their entire AI strategy.
And that leads us to the one question that every long-term investor should be asking. You know, with new AI models popping up what feels like every week, where's the real lasting value? We're going to break down exactly how Microsoft is trying to build a moat that's almost impossible for anyone else to get across.
So here's how we'll break it down. We'll start with the investment thesis itself, then we'll get into the secret sauce, this thing called Work IQ. We'll look at how that powers the frontier firm idea, then cover the absolutely crucial control layer, and finally, see how it all spins up into a powerful monetization flywheel.
So, let's jump right into the investment thesis. Look, this is not about flashy AI features. This is about Microsoft creating an indispensable corporate brain for its customers. It's an intelligent ecosystem that gets so deeply embedded into the fabric of a company, it becomes part of its DNA.
So what's the secret sauce at the very heart of this moat? Well, it's a new, and I think potentially game-changing capability Microsoft is calling Work IQ. Honestly, this is the foundational tech that underpins everything else they're doing. Work IQ is basically the cognitive upgrade for Copilot. It gives the AI this deep contextual understanding of your specific company, your projects, your people, how you all work together. And that's what transforms Copilot from just a generic assistant into a proactive, super specialized member of the team.
So how does it actually work? Well, it functions on three core pillars. First, it takes in all of a company's unstructured data. You know, the emails, the files, the chats. Second, it builds memory. It learns your personal work patterns, creating this work chart that's way more sophisticated than a simple org chart. And third, it uses inference to connect all the dots, to anticipate what you need and recommend what to do next.
And this right here is the key differentiator. A generic AI, it's like a temporary helper that forgets everything the moment you close the window. But a Work IQ-powered AI, that's a permanent team member. It creates this powerful feedback loop where every single interaction makes it smarter and more valuable. For an investor, that means one thing: extreme user stickiness.
Okay, so you've got this incredible foundational tech. How do you turn that into real-world applications that actually lock customers in? Well, this is where Microsoft starts to deploy an entire AI workforce, all powered by Work IQ, directly into the enterprise. And the scale of this opportunity, it's just staggering. A recent forecast from IDC predicts that enterprises are going to deploy over 1.3 billion AI agents by 2028. This isn't some niche market. This is literally the future of how work gets done. And Microsoft is attacking this from all sides. They're embedding agents right into the Office apps people use every day. They're releasing specialized agents for specific jobs like sales. They're expanding model choice, so it's not just OpenAI, but now even competitors like Anthropic. And, crucially, they're letting companies build their own agents, which ensures the entire ecosystem lives right inside Microsoft's walls.
I mean, this signals a massive fundamental shift. We are moving from a world of simple, reactive assistants to a huge, interconnected workforce of autonomous AI agents that can handle really complex, multi-step tasks all on their own.
But, and this is a big but for any C-suite executive, this massive opportunity brings an equally massive challenge. How in the world do you manage, monitor, and secure an army of 1.3 billion digital workers? This is where the risk of so-called shadow IT becomes a nightmare.
And this is where Microsoft introduces the next huge pillar of its moat. See, they're not just providing the agents, they're providing the essential governance layer to control them. They're directly addressing a key enterprise and investor concern right up front. Think of Agent 365 as the command center, the watchtower for the entire AI workforce. It's a single platform to manage every agent in the company, and it doesn't matter who built it. As a strategic move, this is just brilliant. By providing a central registry, really granular access controls, monitoring dashboards, and this deep integration with their existing security stack, like Defender and Purview, Microsoft is positioning itself to be the indispensable standard for AI governance. All right, so let's follow the money. How does this entire ecosystem actually generate revenue? And more importantly, how does it create a self-reinforcing cycle that just makes the moat stronger and stronger over time?
First, the foundation they're building on is just unparalleled. I mean, Microsoft isn't starting from scratch here. With adoption already at 90% of the Fortune 500 for Microsoft 365 Copilot, they have a captive audience and probably the single greatest enterprise distribution channel on the planet.
The monetization model is also really robust. It's not just about those high-priced enterprise subscriptions. They've introduced a new plan for small and medium-sized businesses at just $21 a user, which ensures broad market penetration. And on top of that, they capture extra revenue through consumption billing for custom agent development.
So let's just tie this all together. Here's the investment thesis in a nutshell. Work IQ, the corporate brain, creates that incredible stickiness. The agent ecosystem drives scale and deep process integration, and Agent 365, the watchtower, establishes Microsoft as the trusted standard for security. Each part just reinforces the others, making that moat wider and deeper every day.
And that leaves us with a final, kind of provocative thought. By integrating intelligence, workflow, and security this deeply, Microsoft isn't just selling a product anymore. They are building a foundational layer of the modern enterprise. So the real question for investors is, are they becoming too essential to ignore, or maybe too essential to ever replace?